Welcome to the Summit County Floodplain Viewer. This viewer will allow you to view any parcel within Summit County to determine if it falls within a FEMA floodplain. Please be aware that all of the FEMA data is under the jurisdiction of FEMA, and Summit County is only displaying this data as a courtesy to the residents of Summit County. Once you open the application, you can notice we have multiple tools across the top of the screen, and we also have 4 links on the top right side of the screen that will take you to the county homepage, the FEMA website, GIS Home, and more GIS applications that Summit County has developed. You can also have a zoom in, zoom out button here on the left side of the viewing area. We also have a home button which will return you to this default view. And we also have a switch base map button. Currently we have the base map switched to the 2012 aerial. And let's switch that to the streets view. So the streets view right now just shows jurisdictions, but once you zoom into Summit County by using either your zoom tool here at the top or your mouse wheel, so let's zoom in here for a second, you can see streets will turn on with drainage and street names. So that's one way you can navigate yourself around the map. You may have also noticed that we have a tool button over here on the left side of the screen. Once you click on that and expand it, this gives you access to multiple tools that we have in the application. The first one here is the legend tool. You can see we currently have nothing in the legend, but we also have the ability to change the intensity of the floodplain layers, either making a layer very transparent or very dark. So we'll cover that here in a second once we zoom into a parcel. And the second tool is the Find Parcel button. So if we expand that, you can see I currently have an existing parcel already in the selection here. So you can enter in the parcel number or the mailing address. And we're going to hit our search button, and that will zoom us to the large parcel that you see here. Unfortunately, there are no FEMA floodplains in this parcel's boundary. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pan tool and we're going to pan to the left. And once that happens, you can see that the FEMA floodplain now appears. Now if we jump back to our legend tool, and I will show you an example of our slider here, which we can change the opacity of the FEMA floodplain. So you can see here we've made it really light so that you can see through the FEMA floodplain, or if you slide it the other way, we've made it really dark so it's kind of tough to see through. So that's one of the tools that you can also use once you find a parcel. So let's go back to our Find Parcel tool, and we're going to zoom out here a little bit so you can back to the full extent of the floodplains. Another tool that we have within this viewer is the ability to make measurements within your display. So let's switch our base map here back to the 2012 aerial. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the measure tool here, and it will expand that. We're going to make a measurement here, and we're going to change the measurement, the units, to feet, and we will make a measurement along the property line on this corner here up to the northernmost edge of the FEMA floodplain. So let's click once. Whoops. Let's go back here. Oh, let me clear my graphics here, I messed up. So we're going to start again. We're going to measure from the property corner up north to the northernmost line, and you can see the distance here is 176.1 feet. So that tool allows you to make measurements. Let's look down here at our bookmarks. I currently have one bookmark that's already in the view, but you can also add a second bookmark, and we'll just call this one View 2. So that's our second view. What the bookmarks will allow you to do is if you're looking at multiple parcels during a session, you can put all of the parcels you're looking for in here, parcel 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and then you can always zoom back to those parcels while you're in that same session. Now please be aware, once you close a session, those bookmarks will disappear, so they only remain active while your session is open. We also have a printing tool here on the bottom left side of the screen. What the printing tool will allow you to do is to give your map a title. We just put test map in there, and you can print at a specific scale. All of our scales are ratio scales. So 1 to 1200 is 100, 1 to 600 is 1 inch equals 50 feet. So those are the ratio scales. Now you can also print to a specific paper size as they're listed here. But please be aware your ratio scale may not fit on one of these paper sizes. It may be too big. So you may want to print to one of these standard sheets of paper without a scale in there, and it'll just, the map will just be not to scale. We also have 4 buttons along the top edge of our screen here that will take us to the county homepage, the FEMA website, GIS Home, or to more apps that we've developed in Summit County. You can also take the legend tool here, and it gives you the descriptions of what all of the different FEMA floodplains are. The zones, the AE zone A, and the 0.2% annual chance of a flood hazard. Now, once you have your parcel selected, you can very easily identify on the FEMA flood zone. Whoops, and I need to clear this. So I need to go back to my measuring tool here and toggle that off. Now if we click on the FEMA floodplain, it should pop up a window. There it is. It will select the full FEMA flood area, and if you notice the zoom to button here, you can select that and it will zoom you to the full extent of that particular drainage area. You can see that's been selected there in blue. You may have noticed that we have 2 search results. You can see here we have 1 of 2. So if we hit our little arrow here, that will send us to the next feature, which is actually a scanned image of the particular tile that FEMA floodplain area falls into. And this is all the standard FEMA layout sheet that they've put together for the FEMA floodplain tiles. It has more information on it. It explains the different zones and the legend and all that other good stuff you will see on the map. Now that's it in a nutshell. This is a living application, so we're constantly adding new features to it and new data sets to it. So thank you very much for viewing the help for the Summit County Floodplain Viewer.